Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today now we will continue to make this roadside element like this railing, this traffic sign, this lamppost. Okay, in the modifier tab we can change the road width, shoulder width, number of lanes. This I have already explained in my previous video. I will link it in the description. Now we can change the footpath. We can turn off with this switch, and we can switch between different pole types. And we can also change the spacing of the lamppost. And for the railing, we have this railing one. This is for inside railing. And this railing too for outside railing. Okay, now let's start. Okay, so far we have made this road and the lane marking, and this is the node for creating the lane marking, and this is the node for creating the roadway. So first I will smooth the road curve. I will set the spline type. Select the first one. I will resample it and select the evaluated, and now I will select the set spline resolution and type 3. Now it is very smooth now. First of all, we will make the road curves on the both side. I will use this roadway node, Ctrl C and Ctrl V. I will join in the join geometry. Let's move it closer. I will now turn it into a node group, since I will use it for the making of a lamppost and the footpath. To make it into a node group, select it, press Ctrl G. Now we are inside the node group. Let's rename it node curve line. Let's tap to go inside. I will disconnect and delete this. Okay, let's go in the top view. Make the curve straight. Okay, make the curve straight. Let's go edit mode. So here you can see from here to here. This is our road width, and this is our center line. To get there from here, we need to get road width divided by 2. Okay, and from here to here, this distance is the shoulder width, and to get from here to here, we need to add road width divided by 2 plus this shoulder width. So we will do this in the node. I will copy this. Now let's rename it road width, subtype as distance, and this as shoulder width, subtype as distance. I will plug the road width here and divide it by 2 as this, and minimize by Ctrl H and place it here. I will again copy with Shift D, and now I will select the shoulder width and minimize it. So for shoulder width, we divide it by 1, so the value is same. Now what we need to do is add both to get up to the here. So plug in the add, let's tab out of this node editor, move this closer, and let's plug the road width in the road width, soldier width in the soldier width. Now we have made this road with the node group. So let's go into the viewer node. Here we can see we still don't have two curve. To get the two curve, we need to first remove this. Let's go inside the node group and let's add the date geometry node. Select the edge and compare, and also the edge vertices. Plug in A, plug in B, select equal and type 1, and let's plug the result into the selection. Okay, tab out of the node group. Let's right click and view. So we now have two curve line. So we started with one and now have two curve line. Okay, now let's move it closer. Take this viewer node and rename it curve line for inside curve. So for the curve we will instance in the collection assets. I will drag the curves and plug the instance. Okay, now we need to resample it, and let's select length and type 0.31. First we need to convert it into curve with mesh to curve. Let's move it closer. We need to fix the rotation. Let's join align rotation and use the curve tangent. Plug in the vector and plug it in the rotation and select the Y. Let's move it closer. I will group it, Ctrl G, and rename it node Y. So we now have made curve. Let's group it with Ctrl J and rename it instance curve and make it bigger. So I want to make another curve line on the another side of the footpath. So let's add a input first for the footpath. Select distance. I want a footpath of 2 meters. So let's go in the top view. I will use this for the outside curve and plug it in the join geometry. Now I need to rename it and rename it outside curve, and let's go in the node curve line. Since from here the footpath start, so maybe around this our footpath, so our curve line will be here, outside curve line. So we need footpath width also. So let's move it little bit and shift T, and let's add footpath width also. Select it as distance, plug the footpath width and minimize this. So from here to here I need to select one. Okay, now we need to add, so I will use another math node. Let's make some space. So let's plug this value here, let's plug this value here, and this here, and this here. So we have plugged all this value like this. So our curve line will be here now. Okay, in the outside curve, we will now plug the footpath width in the footpath width. So this is 2 meters. Okay, for the outside curve, I will not instance, but I will use the curve to mesh so that it is a long continuous curve. So I will now dissolve it. Curve to mesh. First we need to convert it into curve, mesh to curve, and use the quadrilateral as a profile and plug it here. Fill type, it will be 0.3 and 0.5. Control J and rename it outside curve to mesh. Let's make it bigger. So I need to make the footpath. So again I will use this Shift T, rename it curve line for footpath, and let's plug it in the join geometry. Also rename this footpath. Footpath width should be 2 meters and height should be 0.45. Okay, now I want to control the footpath width with this geometry node. So I will plug the input node, group input, footpath width here, and minimize this and put it here. But now you can see our footpath is on the outside. So let's go inside in the node editor, node group. Let's go in the top view. So here you can see is that for the footpath we need to be up to here. So let's delete this. Footpath width divided by 2. So I have to use footpath width divided by 2, but you can see it has moved our outside curve. So I will now use it as an input. So I will plug it in the group input and rename this as small fw and set the type as an integer and press N. Now I will tab out of this node group. For footpath we have to use value of 2, and for the outside curve it was before 1, and for the inside curve it is 0. So everything looks fine. Okay, now let's make the traffic light. Let's first go to the property, make some space, click on plus panel, rename it traffic light. Let's add another roadway. Let's move it. Let's drop in the roadway Okay, now for the traffic light, I will use the curve line for inside curve and shift E. I will rename first curve line for traffic light instance traffic light and plug it here in the join geometry. So I want to instance traffic light, so I will cross here and in the asset collection I will choose the light post 1. First I need to control the spacing. Let's put 10. I want to control this spacing, so I will input group input and plug the spacing here. And in the spacing we will use this 10 meter. From here we can see that our traffic light is facing in the wrong direction, so I will change the direction. I will delete this, type align rotation to vector, curve tangent, curve tangent, plug in the vector and select X and plug it in the rotation. I will also group it, Ctrl G and rename it node X. So you can see our pole in this side is facing correctly, but on this side this is facing in the wrong direction. So what we need to see is, first we need to see the curve line, two curves. So select right click, link to view. So we have two curve and we have instanced the light pole in this curve. Okay, now let's turn on the attribute text and use the mesh island index and plug it here. So here you can see this curve is 0 and this curve is 1. So we will select this curve 0. So to select this we will use the separate geometry. Select the edge and we'll compare it, compare equal. We'll copy here, index we plug it in A and leave it as 0 and plug it in the selection. And let's delete this viewer node. Here you can see we have now instanced the light pole on the curve number 0, and again we will select the curve number 1 and instance this light pole, but we will rotate it with around 90 degree. So let's move it outside. Let's copy this. Let's join geometry. In the inverted we will plug it in the here, and now plug the instance in the geometry. Now let's rotate with rotate instance. Plug it in here and rotate by 180 degree. So it is now facing inside. So we have now both the lamppost facing on the inside of the road, but our lamppost is in the inside curve. I want the lamppost to be here. So to do that I will now use this node curve line group. Here I will plug the footpath width also, and we already know to move this lamppost from here to here we will need to put value of 1 here. Okay, now you can see our lamppost has moved from here to here, but our lamppost need to be little bit outside. So we need to add offset in our node group. So I will add another, and in the group I will add as the offset input OFF set, subtype as distance, minimize this. Okay, now I will plug the offset, minimize this and put value of 1, and let's move it a little bit. Let's add another and plug it here. So these two here and these two is added here, and they are both added now. Okay, let's type 0.4. Now our lamppost is outside. Let's move this. Let's group this and name this traffic light 1. Make this bigger and make this white color. So after making the lamppost, we need to add the light. So to add the light, I will drag the area light here, make some space. I will now join it, join geometry, and select the light as the edge instance and select the relative. I will copy and do the same for this one and plug it in the instance, and let's move it for make some space. Okay, now you can see the light in the lamppost. So now we are gonna make this light to be on and off with our switch. Let's type the switch, drag it here, add the group input and plug the switch here and minimize this. We have this switch here, so we can see we can now turn on and off. So I will copy this and paste it here. Plug it in the instance, make some space. Okay, now this is how you make the light for the lamppost. So this is traffic light 1. If I want to change the lamppost type, I will need to make another. So I will copy and paste it here. I rename it traffic light 2. Plug from the curve line and plug it in here. So okay, for the traffic light 2, we need to use the index switch to switch between the pole type. I will plug it here and drag it down and plug the traffic light 2 in 1. From here we can change the pole type. So I will input here and select the pole type and connect it here and minimize this and place it here. So to see any change, first we need to change here the instance. We need to change the instance. So click cross, let's drag it down. I will select the light post 2. Again here I will select the light post 2. Pole type 1. Now you can see the lamppost. I will also change the area light and area light 1 area light 1. You can see if I toggle this switch. Okay, let's add another lamppost with Ctrl Shift T. Let's rename it traffic light 3 and plug the output from here in the 2. In traffic light 3 we will change the light post, and let's choose light post 3. We will change the light also. We will now use the point light, and same here also, light post 3 and point light. We can now turn on the light. So this is how you make the lamppost with different pole type. Okay, now let's add a traffic sign. So I will use this curve line. Rename it. Let's rename it for traffic sign 1. So for the instance we will use this. So for the instance I will use the traffic sign. Traffic sign and plug it in the instance. I will delete this. I will delete this. I want the sign to be only in the start and the end, so I will use end point selection. And I want to use this sign here. So in the curve line for traffic sign 1 in the node group, I will use the value of 0 for here and use offset of about 0.2. Okay, this looks okay. Let's do same thing again here and delete this and remove this and plug the endpoint selection. Now let's rename also. Sign 50. So let's again copy this for no parking sign and plug it in the joint geometry. Let's move this closer. Let's rename it again for traffic sign 2. Okay, let's rename this traffic sign 2 and rename here traffic sign traffic sign 2, and here also traffic sign 2. Let's use no parking sign. No traffic sign. Both the sign are at the same place, so we need to trim the curve. So with the trim curve, let's trim it by about 0.05 and 0.95, and we will do copy and paste it here also, so you can now see both the sign. Okay, so now after making the traffic sign, now we will make the railing. So I will start making railing on the outside, and then I will copy paste for the inside. So for the outside railing, I will start from the node of outside curve. I will copy it, paste it here. Let's connect it to the join geometry. I will use curved circle. Plug it in the profile. Let's reduce the resolution and decrease the size. And let's move it up with set position 0.6. I will use join geometry. I want to now make post, so I will instance on point. Plug it in the join geometry and plug it in the point. For instance, I will use railing post, join in the instance. Okay, now I need to resample it. Let's resample it with length and distance of 1 meter, and again we need to convert it into curve with mesh to curve. So now you can see. Again we will copy this and move it up. Let's connect it, and let's connect it here, and I will move this support to about 1 meter up. So this is how you make the railing. Let's move a little bit down. Let's Control C and rename it railing 1. For railing 2, I will copy this hole and paste it here. Let's rename it curve line for railing 2, and here also curve line for railing 1. Railing 1 and rename it railing 2. Okay, so now I want to control the railing with this modifier, so I will add input panel. Let's rename it railing, and on the panel we will place input and rename it, say railing outside, and another for railing inside, and I want it to be integer. Okay, now so let's add index switch plug it here. For now this index switch is 0, so it will choose this railing 1. Let's connect the railing 2 in 1, and let's connect the input railing outside. Ctrl H, let's place it here. For the railing 2, I will change the railing post and select the railing post 1. Let's see, railing outside, yes. So again I will copy it, paste it. I will connect the output in the next slot and rename it railing 3. I will select here the crash barrier post, and let's select we need to fix the rotation, so we will now use the group with align X. Let's make another group and rename it align Y, and go inside and change it to Y. So we have now correct our orientation. I will copy this and paste it for railing 2 also. Okay, now for the railing 4, I will copy this and paste it here. I will rename it railing 4, and here also I will rename it to 4. I will delete this too, dissolve, and I will plug it in the index switch. Let's switch to index 3. I will use the quadrilateral profile. Let's plug it in the profile. Select the trapezoid, offset as 0, top width as 0.35, bottom width as 0.2, and height as 1 meter. And in the set position, type 0.2. So now we have made this railing. So we have made this railing for the outside. Now we will copy all this. Copy and again paste. I will change now the group input to the railing inside and plug it in the index and minimize this. And now I will plug it in the join geometry. Now let's go to our node, railing inside. Okay, now for the railing inside, we need to first change our position from this to this. So we need to put FW0. Then we have moved our railing inside here. Inside type 1, we will again type FW as 0. Next 0, next 0. Okay, now you can see that our corpse is sticking out of the railing. In the outside also we have the same problem. So what we need to do is delete this corpse when railing type 3 is selected. So I will copy this index switch and go to the curve. Inside curve, I will paste it here. So I will plug it all. Okay, now you can see we don't want this curve if railing inside 3 is selected, so I will disconnect it so we don't have this. Again, we will do this same for the outside. Copy and paste in the outside curve. Let's plug it in the 0, 1, 2 and let's change it into railing outside. H, and let's plug it into mesh to curve. Okay, now let's see. We can change number of lane, footpath width, soldier width, road width, and in the pole type we can change the pole type. We can change the spacing, and in the railing we can change the railing. And now we need to move this in the traffic light, so let's go in here and let's move inside the traffic light. Let's turn on the light. Okay, so this is how you make the roadside element. Okay, thank you everyone.